without further ado, let's see what joy to watch liberal media's meltdown in the new Trump era is. So let's see. Yeah, I don't know if you know, guys. I'm not really into liberals. Me being from Europe, like Democrats and liberals over there stand for something a little bit different than in the US. And to be honest, during this whole election, it was just a bunch of crybabies and snowflakes. So, yeah, let's see.
A week in the legacy media, now in the final stages of grief, and there are five stages. They've never been so lost before. It started with denial after Trump won the election. Then it was.
Oh man, do you remember those crying videos in the car? Like usually uh, the DEI people crying how they're gonna die, how they're gonna move, and it's like I've never heard such a strong reaction for elections. And to be honest, I live in Canada and we have Trudeau over here, right? And I didn't experience anyone crying over Trudeau being re-elected. Of course, we were complaining a lot, but yeah, this is just ridiculous. Hey, burps.
Who do we blame? They skipped bargaining and went right to depression. They're still in depression right now, and now they're in the very final stages of.
Again, to be honest, like most of the people that I saw liberal minded who follow these three stages are again kind of a DEI people. And I don't want to be mean, but most of the time they're on antidepressants anyway. So I think stage 3 depression's like all year long. Again, don't want to be mean, but.
Acceptance. Their big problem is they don't know what to.
Oh, I love that picture.
CBS and
Oh man, did you see that rainbow behind Trump? That must be a jab.
NBC, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, they are all completely lost, and they are all completely incapable of covering anything Donald Trump does. Honestly, it's like they're all programmed to fight Trump like robots.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like you see all of these, exactly, CNN, MSNBC, all of these videos from them, and it's like it's still election season. No, Trump has been elected. Like you don't need to try to undermine him and whatever. Like he's in the office, he's gonna do this shit. So just stop being biased. Like it's not gonna turn around and we're gonna give it to Kamala, right? Like it's just ridiculous, the propaganda behind it when president's already elected. Like what the hell?
Every step of the way, no matter what happens, that's their mission. Every day, it's to try and turn public opinion against Donald Trump. But clearly,
it's ridiculous.
And don't take my word for it. Here's the only full-time employee at CNN that should be working at Newsmax.
It was so interesting to me that Donald Trump's first net approval rating of his second term is higher than his entire first term. And I was interested, has that ever happened? Has the second term net approval rating in the first month, have you ever had a higher rating than any net approval rating during the entire first term? Donald Trump is the only...
I have a hard time believing this.
This is 100% true. I went back. I love spreadsheets. Donald Trump's is the first guy ever whose net approval rating in the first month of his second term is higher than any rating that he had in an entire first term.
I like that guy. I don't know why I like him. And the translation is simple. Donald Trump is more...
Oh man, how she was like, I don't know if I believe in that. Well, I guess this is the first time she actually saw some facts instead of some propaganda. And yeah, instead of being emotional about President Donald Trump. It's just ridiculous, the emotions he brings into the US. It's fun to watch, but again, like it's incredible what he's doing. Like he's first day in the office and he already signed more shit than Biden in his whole term, right? Now we're a week after and damn, he's on the roll.
Popular today than he was before the election. The American people right now support what Donald Trump is doing. So given that, all that information, how does the media react over the weekend? They do what they've always done. If it's a Donald Trump policy, they attack it, even if it
Of
makes
course.
sense,
Yeah.
even if the public supports it. something.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous how some of the liberals are like against deportation. Like freaking Joe Biden literally had some people to get deported, but they never did. Like it went through the court, through the whole process. They were just waiting for getting deported. And now when Trump does it, like actually getting rid of the illegal immigrants, like illegals in the word, right? That means that they're in the US against the law, which pretty much makes them criminals. Of course, it's not same like murderer or whatever, but it's still illegal. They're not supposed to be there, right? They did not follow the law. But anyway, he's deporting them, and the liberals are like all against it. And if you ask them, what would you do? Uh, they didn't come up with answer. They're just like, oh, I would do something different. Like what? What you did in last 4 years? Just let them be in the country, support them, and whatever. Like, no, it's ridiculous. They always cry, but they didn't come up with better solution. And what's the better solution? Like I don't know. Even if the government, Trump's government, for sure is not going to support them financially, just the fact that they're working and then they have the income, like money under the table, not paying taxes, that's already taking money away from US, right? And taking jobs from Americans. And you hear all of the bullshit, like how it's a jobs that a normal American doesn't want to do. But have you ever been unemployed? Like eventually you'll take any job you can just to support your family, and then you're looking for better jobs. So like to me there's no job you don't want to do. Like as long as you have some unemployment rate, you shouldn't give out the jobs to illegal immigrants. Because yeah, there's always going to be some American who's going to accept this job just to stay alive. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, sorry, I'll try to go a little bit longer without pausing it.
They never did to Joe Biden, never once, even after the debate with Donald Trump where Joe Biden fell apart. So when the vice president sits down with CBS News this weekend,
Man, I love JD Vance. Like I saw his debate with Tim Walz, and I didn't know anything about JD Vance. I heard some stories about him and the couch, which was ridiculous. But this guy is so freaking good. Like, I honestly hope he's gonna be the next president. Like, he's so smart, down to earth, family oriented. He worked himself up. Like, his mom was drug addict, and he managed to become lawyer, and now he's vice president. And just listening to him talk, like you can see he's smart, logical, and he has the good values. I hope he's not going to turn out to be just a politician, but so far I'm like really impressed by him.
and it's a joy to watch because J.D. Vance is not only incredibly bright, but the majority of Americans support what he's saying.
The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops this week.
Not just Americans.
Executive orders signed by President Trump, specifically those allowing immigration and customs enforcement to enter churches and to enter schools. Do you personally support the idea of conducting a raid or enforcement action in a church service, at a school?
Well, let me address this. Of course, if you have a person who is convicted of a violent crime, whether they're an illegal...
Okay, one sec. My cat is destroying the couch. Hey, birds. What you doing? What you doing? So she actually managed to open the futon. I don't know if she wants to take a nap on the big bed or what the heck. But yeah, this is ridiculous as well.
or a non-illegal immigrant, you have to go and get that person to protect the public safety. That's not unique to immigration. But let me just address this particular issue, Margaret, because as a practicing Catholic, I was actually heartbroken by that statement.
You see what Margaret tried to do there? She tried to do it. Do you support the idea of a raid during a church service or at school? That was her question. She's trying to brand that image into the minds of the American people.
Yeah, I saw this interview on Asmongold's channel. It's just ridiculous. Again, she's so biased trying to get him, but JD's just professional. He answers every question, and sorry, but he makes her look stupid. I'm not gonna lie. But what they're saying, like, if they're supposed to be arrested at church, well, why the fuck no? Or at school. Like, if there's an illegal immigrant at school, that's pretty much criminal being between the kids, right? Like, surrounded by kids. He's illegal, so you don't know what he did back in his country. Maybe he's like innocent guy who just doesn't have the paperwork done correctly, right? Which sucks to get raided, but it also might be some freaking rapist or pedo. Like, you don't want illegal immigrants to be in the schools, like where they have access to kids. Like, are you kidding me? What are we even talking about? And arrested at church? So what? The church is above the law? Like, don't. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the church. Like, I'm sorry, of course they should be allowed to go there. One thing is, like, you're not gonna go to church guns blazing, right? But you should be allowed to go and arrest someone who's in the country illegally.
Image of armed ICE agents storming into a church during Mass or a school during first period. And J.D. Vance, as he always does, answers the question with common sense and intelligence and doesn't get emotionally involved.
It's not just me who likes him.
But if you think about it, and no one talks about this part of it, if a child rapist or a murderer was sitting next to you at church on Sunday, would you be offended at all? Honestly, if ICE agents came right in during the...
Yo, I swear on my boys that I did not watch this video, but I love how this guy's thinking. Not gonna lie.
...service and arrested that person right then and there. That hasn't happened. We don't think that will happen. But don't we want people like that off the streets? If a criminal illegal alien were going to your granddaughter's school and was wanted for something like child rape, would you really be upset if ICE agents arrested that person at school? I wouldn't.
Yeah, what are we even talking about? How is that the liberals are getting upset about this? Sorry, I'm just gonna take the kitty out of the room because she's going crazy. Oh, here you go. Say hi and say bye. I love her, I swear to God. She's amazing kitten, but yeah, she's just walking all over my desk, knocking the stuff. But yeah, let's go back to the video. That's what I said. Like, what is there to complain about? Like, if I'm trying to get a job in the school, or pretty much everywhere, I need to go through the background check, right? These illegal immigrants, they don't go through the same stuff. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but you never know. Do you really want to risk it? They were bad enough not to try to do paperwork properly. Like, what are we complaining about? And also the deportation, Trump said that he's gonna go after the severe criminals first, right? So he's not gonna go after the guy who is working at the fast food and doesn't have a proper paperwork, right? He's gonna go after the guy who, I don't know, who's stealing the cars, whatever. Like, those are the people who are gonna go first. I don't know. The legacy medias are just ridiculous. The same with sorry, but most of the, well, no, sorry, I'm not gonna say most of the liberals or most of the Democrats. Most of the loud liberals and Democrats. You'll see on the Piers Morgan show. I don't know why I'm still thinking about Piers Brosnan. Okay, let's go. Sorry.
Doesn't bother me at all. And I've got young children. Lakin Riley, a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student, had her skull bashed in with a rock by an illegal alien named Jose Ibarra. If he was sitting next to you at church, two things. One, you wouldn't know that, but would you be upset?
No way, Jose. But yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, you never know. I'm not saying it's just immigrants who do the shit like this. It's just human nature. But just think about it. You're illegal immigrant. If you have any common sense, even if you're not criminal, you're always looking behind your shoulder. You're always stressed out that you can get deported like this, especially now with the Trump. Do you think it's safe to have them over there? Like, I don't know. Like, they must be so stressed that it takes literally something stupid for them to snap. So, like, even if it's, yeah, I don't know, just get your paperwork. That's all I can say.
That to find out after ICE agents arrested him in the pew next to you to find out that he had done something like that. And would that upset you? I'll let you decide at home, but the answer is likely, probably not. You have common sense, but that's CBS News Today. That's the legacy media, and that continued when Margaret decided to defend FEMA. Take a look.
The president did say.
Yeah, sorry. What the heck is FEMA? Federal Emergency. I'm gonna have to Google it. Sorry, I'm kind of uneducated in this. Like, I have a general idea. But yeah, what is FEMA? U.S. Emergency Agency under. Okay, what is Federal Emergency Management Agency? Yeah, so that's pretty much what I thought. So, pretty much one big agency that's supposed to help during all of these hurricanes, fire, all of that stuff, right? And I guess it's controlled by government, and that's why it takes so long for them to decide anything. Because yeah, you guys have 50 states, but you're one country, so one agency trying to deal with 50 states. It's kind of obvious there's going to be a lot of administrative issues over there, but yeah, let's just continue. Sorry.
He wants to do something with an executive order in relation to federal emergency response. He said he may reform or eliminate FEMA. Instead of sending emergency responders, he may start to send a percentage of money to states to take care of themselves. But you know, FEMA has specialized expertise that some of these states just don't have.
Oh,
and
Margaret,
in their arsenal. And
I wish
how
that they.
will states who are lower income states, the Mississippis, the Kentuckys, the Alabamas.
What are we talking lower income states? He just said that he's gonna send percentage pretty much directly to the state. No, like, no one's talking about income. Like, oh, you're coming from the poor state, so we're not gonna give you as much money. Like, I don't know. Like, might be my me not living in the U.S., but it just doesn't really make sense. This argument to me.
Be able to do this for themselves without federal help.
Well, the president, to be clear, is not saying we're going to leave anybody behind. He's saying that in the way that we administer these resources, some of which is coming from the federal level, some of which is coming from the state level, we've got to get the bureaucrats out of the way and get the aid to the people who need it most.
Does Margaret work for FEMA?
Yeah, like, I don't know if you saw the interview with the Trump and the Los Angeles mayor. It was just ridiculous. Apparently, originally, she mentioned that the people who lost their houses will get a new permit in like 18 months. Like, new permit to start rebuilding and all of that shit, right? And Trump was like, what? No, I want them there right now. Like, just allow them to come on their land and start cleaning, because she's like, oh, president, you know, we need to clean the hazardous waste and all of that. And then he just completely destroyed it. I mean, destroyed her. And you can see, like, there's still, like, the bureaucracy is the big issue everywhere. And I don't know how she's trying to justify it after what she's seeing in LA. It's ridiculous.
Was she like a FEMA lobbyist? Give me a break. What do you care about FEMA, Margaret? So Margaret claims that FEMA has, quote, specialized expertise that some of these states, and she went like this, just don't have. Really, Margaret? Isn't that fascinating? Specialized expertise, because I seem to remember a FEMA supervisor telling her staff in writing in October to avoid any house with a Trump sign in the yard after Hurricane Milton hit
What
Florida.
the heck? Are you
What
serious?
I'd like for the American people to know is before I even deployed to Florida, that this was the work culture there. I was on two teams in Florida, and the first team, when I arrived, they were implementing avoidance and de escalation. And unfortunately, that trend ran with those Trump campaign signs. So before I even had my own crew in Highlands County, this was the practice.
So I
Are
just
you
wondered
kidding?
if some of that specialized expertise is what that woman was talking about there. She lost her job.
You know what's ridiculous? In the end, these people will probably end up better, uh, like the Trump voters, than the liberals. But this is ridiculous. So you get smashed by hurricane, and they're not gonna help you because you're a Trump voter. Like what? What the hell is going on in the U.S.? Like it's funny because I hear always like people being like, "What the hell are you guys doing in Canada?" But dude, this, whoa, whoa.
I also seem to remember FEMA offering hurricane victims in North Carolina, people that lost everything, $750 to rebuild. In Maui, after the wildfires there, it was only $700 to families who
What?
had lost everything. And just this month, after the wildfires in Los Angeles, FEMA offered families in LA a whole $770. Is that some of the specialized expertise you were talking about, Margaret?
What are you gonna rebuild? Tent? You're gonna go to Walmart, buy a few boxes, tent, and hopefully you're gonna have money for a blanket and what the $770? It's not even a food for one a week for four people family. $770? Like what the hell? Okay, maybe 2 weeks. Let's not be greedy, but yeah, how are you supposed to rebuild for this amount of money? And I wonder if they're gonna tax them at the end of the year, like, oh yeah, you know that property you have? You need to pay property taxes, dude.
What Margaret failed to mention was that $70 billion, according to her own network, CBS News, is, quote, going not just toward the military, but also to help farmers subsidize small businesses and pay the country's
What
first responders. The U.S. government has also bought seeds and fertilizer for Ukrainian farmers. America is covering the salaries of Ukraine's first responders, all 57,000 of them, and the U.S. government is subsidizing small businesses in Ukraine, including Tatiana Abaramov's knitwear company, according to CBS News. Margaret's network. Well, isn't that just wonderful?
Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, we all knew that there was so much money going to Ukraine, and not just US, but even Canada. Like the life got so much harder because of our tax money are going to this different country. And I get that we don't want Russia to win, but at the same time, like, how are you supporting Ukraine just giving them money and the weapons? Like, I'm sorry, like you need to ask for something in return, like try to end this conflict. Like, what the hell? And obviously it's getting worse and worse. If they negotiated right in 2021, they would be better off. Right now, of course, Putin's not gonna give out land. Zelensky is not want to give out land. So where's the peace? Like everyone, I know it sounds crazy. Like, yeah, Ukraine was literally bleeding. People were dying, and the rest of the world, well, rest of the world, people were dying as well, differently. Like, you're not able to afford groceries. You're not able to, like, you have to make a decision if you want to fill out your tank, like a gas tank, or buy the groceries. That's what I heard about the US. Like, thank God I didn't have to go this far. But yeah, like the life got so much harder. Like, just my mortgage payment went up by 30%. Like, it's ridiculous. And yeah, now you see this, that like freaking LA burned down, and they're gonna get offered $770 instead of all of these billions going into US to rebuild the city. And I really hope Trump will change it. And I'm 99% sure that he's gonna take care of it. But just the idea that this was possible is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, the countries need to take care of their own people first. And again, obviously, we should help Ukraine, but it shouldn't be just blind help. Like, even sending them weapons, it's ridiculous. How are you helping them? It's like, here's more opportunity for you to die. Like, obviously, we don't want to have a war, like third world war, right? But still, like, if you want to beat Russia, just the weapons won't make it, won't cut it. Like, you were supposed to be dealing about the peace, or just go full blown and protect Ukraine. Like, I don't know, this is just ridiculous. Yeah, anyway, let's continue.
Wonderful. I'm so glad for Tatiana's Knitting Company in Western Ukraine. I'm glad that the American taxpayers can subsidize that, but not our own citizens. Margaret never mentioned any of that because her assignment on Sunday was to try to make J.D. Vance look bad. And at ABC News, it was the exact same thing. Try to make someone that works for Donald Trump, look bad at all costs. Take a look.
I want to go back to those military flights going south. As you said, we have never seen that before. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day?
Okay, if you hear my sons, they're fighting asleep, but I swear to God, my wife's there. She's taking care of them. It's not neglect. But yeah, I wonder how loud it is on the stream. Hopefully, hopefully not too loud.
Take deportees out?
Yes.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes. But you can see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating public safety threats, national security threats.
That's Martha Raddatz, who needed clarification to the easiest question. She's just an awful journalist, by the way. I don't know why she's still doing it. Here's a question. Is that going to be a constant commitment every single day to take deportees out? Tom Homan said,
It should,
yes. And she
yeah.
said so every single day. And Tom Homan said, yes. He answered the question twice. Martha, with the most basic answer ever, he said yes. Joe Biden let 12 million people into this country illegally. Many of them are criminals. They're all criminals because their underlying crime is coming to the country illegally. So now
That's what I said.
According to Donald Trump.
You know, like, if they're gonna do it every single day, it's not gonna go for 4 years, hopefully, right? Obviously, they're not able to do it every single day. But, like, as long as there's no other worse security issue in the US, you're not gonna just sit on your ass and wait, right? Like, just use those resources. People are paid to work. So if they don't have anything else to do, just deport them. If deportation right now is the illegal immigration is the worst situation or worst crime you have in the US right now, do that. Like, if that's your biggest concern, what's wrong about doing it every single day? Like, I don't know. Unless you have some terrorist organization on the loose in the US, what else you have to do? Like, you have a cops working normally, right? And then you have what are they called? Some agents for deportation. I don't think he included military yet. I think it's just to protect the border, right? But yeah, like, if you have resources to do everything, do it. If you don't, do what's most important. And right now it's immigration. And if you're able to clean it up during first 2 years, there you go. Like, why should you try to, like, all of this, like, are you gonna do it every single day? Are you going to work every single day? Are you trying to finish your, like, tasks on your list every single day? Or are you just trying to have task lists that you're gonna finish in a week? Like, I have 5 tasks, let's do 1 task a day. Like, what is that? are you paid for an hour worth of work or full day? Like, I don't know. It's just these people live somewhere else. Like, if there's an issue that needs to be solved, what's the problem about solving it every single day, right? Trying to solve it as soon as possible. Not like, oh, I have 4 years, and after 4 years, no one's gonna remember. No, like you're trying to get the shit done, right?
But CBS and ABC can't be bothered by that, even if the American people want this. And here's proof of that.
There's real uniformity here. That's what I really think you see. You see real uniformity. Deported all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. You can really see.
I love how they have undocumented immigrants. Like, dude, they're illegal. Like, uh, it's they're trying to make it sound better because like immigrant on its own should be a kind of a positive word, right? Because immigrant on its own is someone who's following the laws, who just immigrated into the country. Of course, if you say how it is, illegal immigrant, it sounds bad, right? And now undocumented, it's not like these people just forgot their passport somewhere or their IDs. Like they never had it. Like they're in the US illegally. So what are you trying to say? It's ridiculous how media are trying to make it look better.
That there's been a massive shift from when Trump was first getting into office 8 years ago. I think the American people are going to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt to do what he wants to do, at least if you believe these blunt questions, including this one.
I like that guy. I like that guy. I like the cut of his jib. So the messaging on that should be crystal clear. The American people support what the Trump administration is doing, and if that means arresting someone at a church to prevent another Laken Riley from happening, then so be it. This is Joe Biden's mess. Donald Trump is just trying his best to clean it up, and the results so far have been stunning in 7 days. Since Inauguration Day, almost 3,000 criminal illegal aliens have been arrested by ICE, meaning they are no longer on the streets. No longer a threat to you, the American people.
ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. See, those are the guys who are taking care of this shit. So yeah, what's the issue? What else are they gonna do? Oh, well, it's literally a department created for this, right? So what are we talking about? Sorry, but it's a little bit off topic about something that I was unsure a few minutes ago. But yeah, those numbers are crazy. Like, if that's not effective.
CBS News, according to Margaret, every single refugee, every single one, she knows this. They've all been vetted.
When you talked to us in August, you said, I don't think we should abandon anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. We absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted.
Good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted.
And that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
Oh man, he's so cool, dude. He's just killing her, man. He's making her look so dumb. Like, I'm sorry, but like, what are we talking about? She's like, oh, well, we don't know if he got radicalized living here or not. What? Who cares? Like, did you want him in this country illegally, even though he's terrorist? Who cares if he became terrorist here or somewhere else? Like, right now he's here. What?
Clear where he was radicalized, Afghanistan or here. That was her follow-up. I just have a couple of questions for Margaret. I work in the news. I'm privy to this stuff. I don't have an answer to that question. How would she know if every single person had been vetted? How would she know? Afghanistan is a third world country. Take me through that vetting process. I would like to know. I would like to know just so I know. I want to know how they're vetted under Joe Biden. Under the former president, we've had illegals pour into the U.S. from more than 100 countries. Among them,
that's
Haiti,
brutal.
Ethiopia, Venezuela, Angola, Botswana. all third world countries, Margaret. Can you please explain to me how they were vetted? Take me through that process. I would like to know. The real answer is that she has no idea. But CBS News just lobs that out there deliberately to plant a seed into the minds of the American people. Hey, all these people were vetted, according to Margaret. Maybe the 30,000 people from Afghanistan should be allowed to come here to the United States. I'll tell you what, fine, but they can move to your neighborhoods, okay? You can have them in your neighborhoods. Over the weekend, it wasn't just television, it was in print as well. Ruth Marcus in the Washington Post writing that, quote, Trump 2.0 is shaping up to be a more ruthlessly effective version of its predecessor. It is willing to barrel through norms in pursuit of its agenda. Barrel through norms. Now, where have I seen that before, Ruth? Oh, yeah, right. Joe Biden. Remember when he barreled through all those norms and went after the only Republican that could beat him in the election and had his attack dogs at the DOJ indict him 4 times and charge him 91 times? Tell me, Ruth, would that qualify as barreling through norms? And what about when Joe Biden 1 week ago preemptively pardoned
Joe Biden, man. He almost said it. That was epic. But yeah, like, he's definitely right. We all know what he's gonna talk about, right? Like, what do you mean he preemptively pardoned his whole family? Like, what did your family do, man? Like, I get Hunter Biden, right? Because he was already in deep shit, and we know that. I mean, we don't know how Trump would react to him. Like, obviously, everyone would wish that Trump's gonna go after him because, yeah, the allegations and stuff like it. People should look into it. But then we saw what he did with Hillary, right? He didn't prosecute her. So we honestly don't know. Like, Democrats will tell you, oh yeah, he had to pardon everyone because Trump would weaponize the DOJ against them. But you don't know that. Like, we experience something completely different than what you're talking about. It's not like it's not like it's President Trump's first term, right? Like, you saw what he did back then, and right now, it just feels like he evolved. Like, that 4-year break helped him. Like, I'm sorry, but he is on a mission, and back then, people were, at least in my country, they were laughing at him, making him look incapable of being president, just like walking joke, right? Like, yeah, he was always entertaining, and he is still entertaining, but right now, dude, he's on another level. Like, he's great right now. The stuff he does right now, he does that for people, for US, and yeah, so we saw in 2016 when he was just kind of discovering what he can do, and he still didn't do anything bad. So why do you think right now he's gonna do 180 and start with some crazy shit like prosecuting the whole Biden's family? Like, yeah, we don't know about Hunter Biden, but obviously he was investigated for some shit, right? Like laptop, and apparently he did few frauds as well, but now we'll never know. So, like, I get that Joe gave Hunter the pardon, but like, why did the whole family get pardoned? Like, what did they do? I don't know. It's definitely suspicious, and unfortunately we'll never know now.
pardoned 5 of his family members? Would we call that barreling through norms? I think so. But that is what the legacy media has been reduced to. 7 days into Donald Trump, it is attack Trump at all costs and pretend that Joe Biden never happened. These aren't problems created by Joe Biden. These are problems created by Donald Trump. The only problem.
Did you like my little ASMR? No, just joking. But yeah, I mean, obviously Joe Biden had 4 years to kind of clean up, to make the US better, and he did a terrible job. Like, it got worse. So yeah, I don't know if it's all Joe's mess, but wasn't that bad during Trump and before COVID. Like, yeah,
With that, it's not working.
Information.
I love that video. That's the first time I even saw this guy. I already linked it to the chat. But yeah, dude, he's smart, such a logical person. I'll definitely watch more of this. But yeah, uh, I agree with everything he said, and it's like sometimes I'm wondering if I'm weird because I'm from Europe, right? So maybe my opinions much different. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about because like some of the stuff that's going on in the US, it's just ridiculous. And then I always stumble on some of the these video like this, and I'm like, I'm not weird. It's freaking liberals and Democrats. And again, I loved Obama. I loved him from back home, from Europe. He was representative president. In my country, that's all we have. Like, president is supposed to represent the country. They don't really have any power, so that's why I liked Obama. Now the stuff I heard about him is not so good, right? But yeah, now the more I look into the US and Canada systems, Trump is great.